Today we're going to talk with Kelly about improving transportation so it's accessible to people with disabilities. Thank you for joining us today, Kelly. Traveling by plane is one of the most difficult ways people with disability get to where they go. What efforts are made to improve travel for people with disability at airports and on airplanes?
A lot of people say air travel is the safest way to travel. And I think that's true for everybody else except people with disabilities, right? Like, actually, traveling by air for people with disabilities has become so dangerous that a lot of people with disabilities have simply stopped flying. They drive everywhere or take a train instead of flying because it's become too dangerous. So we have done several things. We issued the Passengers with Disabilities Bill of Rights, and they're on the DOT website, and I would encourage people to go there. They're very concise and very easy to understand what your rights are when you're traveling. And so it allows people to be self-advocates and do advocacy on their own to ensure that they're getting their rights that they deserve. We've also issued a rule last July requiring airlines now to have accessible bathrooms on single aisle aircraft. So they were already required on wide body jets, like if you're traveling international. But now a lot of these planes that travel within the United States, you're flying from DC to Seattle, let's say, it's a 6-hour flight. So, people need to be able to use the restroom. So this bill would require in the next 3 years that the restrooms themselves be made more accessible and that there be a onboard wheelchair that people can use to get to the restroom. Now, the restrooms won't get any bigger for another 10 years. And after 10 years, there's 10 and 12, means 10 years, any airplanes delivered in 10 years, no, any airplanes ordered in 10 years and any delivered in 12 will have to have bigger restrooms so that they're bigger for people to be able to fit into with an attendant. So that's making the bathrooms more accessible. There have been billions of dollars going into what we call the airport terminal grants. So those are grants to improve the terminals. There's other grants that help improve like the runways and stuff, but the terminal grants really are about upgrading the airport terminals. And 85% of those grants that we let out have some sort of disability related thing in them, right? So they will improve the airport terminals so that they're more accessible to people with disabilities. They're doing work on the terminals themselves to make them more accessible. They're doing work on making like curb cuts and sidewalks more accessible, and the restrooms more accessible, as well as like service animal relief areas and audio loops and more accessible signage within the airport. So we get people who can hear the auditory ones, but they'll start making those also visible for people who are deaf or have hearing impairments. So those airport terminal grants are going to really improve how airports work for people with disabilities.
Thank you, Kelly, for your time. Bye. Have a great day.